Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yin class. This is going to be a therapeutic yin practice that will be perfect for you to do at the end of the day. And I'm going to use a bolster, only a bolster today. If you have some blocks and you want to use those as well, please feel welcome to also use them. I'm here in Norway and this is a really sunny afternoon and it's really warm in here, but outside it's a little bit windy and has that wonderful kind of like Nordic chill in the air, which is winter for me being from Miami. So I'm happy to be here. It's kind of like a little private sauna. So let's get started. Come on down to a comfortable seated position. Let's close the eyes. Bring your hands together. As you exhale, let's rest the hands down. As we begin the practice today, allow yourself a few moments to offer up any part of the body, any part of your heart, or any part of your spirit that is in need of healing. Perhaps there's an injury that you'd like to receive healing from, or perhaps it's the mind that feels overburdened and stressed, or the heart that needs to come back to a feeling of inspiration. Offer up whatever it is that you feel is in need of healing, removing any resistance, tapping into the receiving healing state, letting your nervous system drop down. Then allow yourself a long, deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's open the eyes. We're going to get started on the hands and knees. So if you'll move over to the hands and knees and separate the knees, grab your bolster or any large pillow that you might have at home. Slide that all the way in. Allow yourself a big breath in. And as you exhale, let's rest your chest on the bolster. This is one of my favorite postures to do after a long day, sitting, standing, walking, any position where your body, especially the back muscles and the hip muscles, may be feeling a little fatigue and stress. So make sure that the object underneath you is sturdy enough to really support your weight. And then release all that you can release, letting the body be heavy, feeling yourself accept the kind of slow pace of this moment. Maybe there have been a lot of thoughts, a lot of busyness throughout the day, and this is the moment where the time is just for you. It might take a few moments to kind of cycle down into that space of rest and relaxation, but give yourself a few moments here. Wiggle around, and then settle in, almost like you're kind of snuggling in. Let your body feel held and supported. Feel the breath moving in, the breath moving out.
Whatever images might be floating through the mind screen, let them float. Don't hold on to anything. Let the images appear like clouds in the sky, rolling through the openness of the mind. Let the images carry away energy. And if you don't have any images, that's okay too. Let each breath carry away any energy that you're ready to release. Any stress, tightness, pain. Let it all go. You might feel like a wave of energy rolls over the body and carries anything that no longer serves you into the ground, off of the body. You might notice any places of pain and see if you can just hold those in awareness. Maybe they shift. Maybe they melt away. We'll be here for about 5 more deep breaths. So release everything you can on each exhalation. Let everything go. We have about 3 more breaths. Deep breathing. 2 more breaths. Good. The last breath. Nice. Let's inhale and we'll come back up gently onto the elbows. Rest there for a moment. And then let's slowly walk back off the bolster. Turn it in the other direction. Drop your knees in towards each other. And then let's roll down, placing the elbows on the bolster and walking a little bit back. What I'd like to do now is keep the elbows on the bolster, and then as you exhale, let's reach the forehead towards the ground and use the bolster to kind of support shoulder flexibility in puppy pose. And if it's better for you to bend the elbows, you could bend the elbows and interlace the fingers and play around with the distance for a moment, so that you can really feel what works for you. Maybe the arms extended is better. Maybe you need to walk more back to give everything space. Take a moment to just kind of get it situated. We won't hold this for just as long. It's okay to kind of let your back bend start to really express itself. Don't overdo it though. Find what works. We have about 5 breaths. Don't put any pressure on the neck. If it's too much for you on the bolster, you can just take regular puppy pose. Good, let's stay like 3 more breaths.
2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Release the hands, press up onto the bolster, and let's lie on the stomach in the cobra position. Good. So take a moment. You may need to wiggle a little forward or wiggle a little back. Close the eyes. And if cobra is a little too intense for you, you can always just rest all the way down on the stomach, maybe placing the head on the hands. Or if cobra is comfortable for you, just find that place where, like the skeletal structure kind of holds itself up. And we really release the hip flexors. Let the bones of the body kind of stack themselves up like a house of cards, elegantly and delicately balanced, so that the skeleton, not the muscles, maintain the balance. Feel the sense of release. Feel the inner quiet as you're aware of the spinal axis, aware of the neck, the face, the lips, aware of all the sensations in the body. Let go of any effort. Let go of any forcefulness. Good. Let yourself just keep dropping down. Enter that meditative space of awareness. Release the emotions. Good. Any tension in the neck, let that melt, soften into the ground. We're going to be here for 5 more breaths. So it's normal to feel like you're sinking down. That's good. We have 4 more breaths. 3 more breaths. Good. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. On the last breath, let everything go. Now, as you reach back, press into your hands, curl the toes under, press back into your hands and knees, walk the knees a little bit in, sink back onto the feet, move the bolster out of the way, walking maybe a little forward, and then taking the feet forward, we're going to come down to constructive rest. Good. Nice. Let's be in constructive rest for a few breaths. Feel especially the sacrum just kind of settle onto the ground. Let the shoulders settle onto the ground. Feel the soles of the feet. Feel the back of the head, maybe letting the head drape to one side, and then the other side, ending up back in the center. Let your breath deepen. Very good. Just a few more breaths here. Feel your sacrum just really equalizing. Good. Maybe 3 more breaths. Two more breaths. The last breath. Now we'll move into Viparita Karani. We'll start off by drawing the knees up into the chests. You can give yourself a little squeeze here. You could hold on to your shin bones or you could hold on to your wrist for a moment. It's helpful to let the back kind of fully release. If you're near a wall and you prefer to take the legs up the wall, you can do that. Good. On the next breath in, let's straighten the legs. Sometimes it's helpful if you're just kind of floating your legs on the ground to place your hands kind of at the lower portion of the thighs and let your legs kind of rest in your hands. This only works if you have a pretty easy forward fold. So if it doesn't work, you could bend the knees a little bit. Or you might try resting the legs up against the wall. So find kind of what works. If it's not comfortable, your hands can be really anywhere that you find comfortable, resting on your torso, resting on the ground, or wherever you find it comfortable. Feel welcome to make the posture yours. Feel the blood and circulation moving away from the feet. Any blood and circulation that's kind of pooled down there from standing all day, walking all day, sitting all day in a chair. Just give permission for the blood and circulation in the body to harmonize and equalize. Let any tiredness in the legs just kind of melt away. Good. Keep breathing. Feel the body, the energy around the body. Feel the vibration just under the surface of the skin. Feel the inner atmosphere. Very good. Keep breathing. Keep dropping down. We have about 5 more breaths. Lengthen and extend each breath in and each breath out. 4 more breaths. Notice any light movements in the body, little pulsating sensations. This is like tension, energy just leaving the body. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Good. The last breath. Bend the knees. Let's hug the knees into the chest again. You could separate the knees a little. Give yourself a little rocking motion.
Good. Nice. Exhale, let's rest your feet down. Back to constructed rest for a moment. Then let's just drape both knees over to the right, your hands to the left. Just a few breaths, like the body's unraveling itself. The tension in the body just unwinding, releasing, dropping away. Good. And then back to the center. Let's switch the sides. If you need to move your bolster out of the way, just move that a little out of the way. One side might be different than the other. That's totally normal. There's no need to push one knee to the ground. Just observe the difference and accept. That's it. Keep breathing. It might build up or it might release. No effort. Just observe where the skeletal structure falls as you gently unravel, unwind, and release. Any place you're holding on, see if you can let go. Any little places where there's forcefulness, just let it go. Good. Let's come on back into the center. Let's take the bolster and slide it under the knees. So you could just do that with the legs if that works for you. Rest the knees up on the bolster. Settle the hips down and let's close the eyes and take rest. Maybe you allow yourself a long deep breath in, and as you exhale like a wave of relief, let everything go. That's good. Let it all go. Any little twitches that you notice in the body, feel the tension releasing. Let the mind expand and drift and float. You might notice yourself yawning. It might feel like you're almost falling asleep. If that happens, just let yourself drift off for a few moments. Now bring your attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to the mind and the emotions. A long, conscious, deep breath in. As you exhale, move the hands and feet in little circles. Then we'll bend the knees and the elbows. You could leave the feet on the bolster. And we'll just roll immediately over to the side. Take a few moments here to just feel rested, connected, supported, protected. And then as you inhale, we'll find the way back to a comfortable seated position. Good. Close the eyes. Tap into that feeling of goodness and notice the change in the inner atmosphere, what has softened, what has released. And then gently bring your hands together, a long, deep breath in. As you exhale, softly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love. Namaste.